What's up? Travel Chronicles, chapter 98-ish. We're almost here at the end. So the thing that's got me, got my mind blown right now is all the stuff that's going on with the stock market, right? Reddit has come in and crashed the stock. They haven't crashed it. They've actually propped it way, way up. And what has happened is if you had GameStop stock, say that 10 times fast, right? GameStop. If you had purchased that stock a while ago when it was 10 to 20 bucks a share, you would be profiting like crazy on a sale because it's over 300 bucks a share. And there is no good reason for the stock to be that high. And by good reason, I mean the company's come out with some new crazy technology or creative sales solution for video games or just come into a mountain of cash. No, they haven't fundamentally changed anything. They've changed their CEO and their upper management staff. Cool. But it's not worth, multiplying your business by 20 and a half times or something, or almost 20 times. I guess 15 and something times. And it's great. It's called a short squeeze. And what has happened is there was a lot of people that wanted to short the stock. And what that means is that they didn't have the stock, but they went to a broker and they said, hey, can I borrow some shares of this stock? So they borrow the stock, they immediately sell the stock for whatever the price is because they think the price is going to drop. And then when it drops, they would buy it back and give back to whoever they borrowed it from. And they would just pocket the difference because whatever they sold it for was say they sold it at 20 and it drops to 10, they get to keep that 10 bucks minus a fee of some sort. Say the broker charged them $5 for the thing. So, they gotta kind of time it right. It has to be worth it for it to drop. And there's a bunch of experts looking at this price, at the stock price and what the company is and what they do, going, the stock's going to drop because their assets are going to lose value. Their business is going to lose value. They're not going to have the value that they have right now. That the price of the company is going to drop. The value of the company is going to drop. So there were so many people that bought into this short idea that they would go to a lender, borrow the stock, sell it. I guess some other lender would grab it at that point. Somebody would come to them, ask to borrow it. They would sell that stock. Somebody else would buy it. Somebody has to buy it if you're selling it. Somebody would go ask them to borrow it. They'd borrow some more. They'd drop it. And they did that to the point where the total volume of stock that was shorted was more than the available stock. About 140% of what they're calling float stock, right? So the CEO, he can't just go out and sell his shares. He's got to go through a long, drawn-out procedure, file it with the SEC to make sure everything's on the up and up. He doesn't have some inside information or something where he's trying to make a profit or dump all the stock before it becomes worthless. So the CEO, his stock is not considered free selling stock or this floating stock. But the amount that was out there, the amount that had been short sold was way more than what was available. And there were some people who happened to be on this Reddit thing, Wall Street Bets is what it's called, that goes out and says, guys, the math doesn't work here. You've shorted more than what's available to short. And they go, we're going to start buying that stock, right? And there's already some people who had thought it was a good investment last year that had bought it even lower than what it was, I think. And gradually this price starts coming up. And it goes from 20 to 40 bucks. Well, some of these short people see that and they're like, okay, now get in now and short it because this price is definitely going to drop, right? And the value of the company, I think, is around 13 bucks is what outsiders looking at the company and their assets, everything they're doing is it should only be worth about 13 bucks. That's why everybody wanted to short it anyway, because the value people are looking at it saying like it's way overvalued. But these people on Reddit have come in and said, no, we really want that stock. We really want it. It's like, I'll buy some for $50, right? And then somebody else comes and is like, well, I'll buy some for $75, and then $100, and then $150. And however they got this in motion and working, it's taken off. And this isn't the first time this squeeze, well, they call it a short squeeze, right? Because now there aren't enough stocks out there to grab and buy back and give back to who they owe them to. So now all these people that short sold have to buy the stock at like $100 a share. So now they're losing $80 instead of gaining 10 when the stock price drops. But they've driven it up even to 300. And there was a major problem. And the people that are doing it on retail stock trading sites. So there's Robinhood, there's like E-Trade, Ameritrade. Like you got an app on your phone, you can say, hey, I want to buy some stock, and you have money available in an account somewhere. The app, grabs that money. It goes to a broker then who agrees to buy the stock for you, and then you have the stock. Well, now these brokerages are freaking out because they don't want to spend the $300. But I don't understand the reason, because if somebody is buying these stocks, they should have to have had the cash in hand to buy them, right? So if you're telling a brokerage, hey, go buy this for $100,000, you have to have $100,000 to give the brokerage. You can't just say, oh, I want that $100,000. I'll hit you back later. When the stock goes up, it's not going up more because of any inherent value. It's just going up because there's not enough shares for people to grab, and these short sellers are, okay, I'm going to take my loss here. I'm going to take my loss at 80. I'm going to take my loss at 100. So they're trying to grab all the stock that they can, but there's not enough available. So somebody can let a little bit go for 100, 200, right? And they bought it at like 20 or 30 when they realized what had happened. They had tried to buy up all the free stuff. That makes it even less. So this isn't the first time this has happened, because it has a name. It's a short squeeze. It happened in 2008 to Volkswagen stock, and it wasn't this obvious thing where they had outsold 140% of the available stock, or shorted it. It was only like around 12%. But Porsche was trying to gain more and more interest and votes in Volkswagen as a business deal, right? So they could have more influence, or they wanted something out of Volkswagen. I don't know what. I didn't look that far into it. So they were just buying stock, and sorry, I had to adjust that. But anytime it came up, they were buying something. Something comes up for sale, they're buying it. And they're just accumulating a massive volume of this stock. They accumulated like 30-some%. Well, the German government owned 40-some%. And then you probably had some people on the board or whatever that had these restricted shares. And the amount of stock that was tied up, that people, that wasn't freely available stock, people that were sitting on, weren't trying to sell it, gets down to around 5%. Like 95% of the shares are spoken for, and nobody's gonna, nobody's selling them. Like they have goals, right? Or they're fully invested in this company. So 12% of the shares have been shorted, but now there's only like 5% of the shares that are actually available. So people with short sold are trying to buy the stock back, trying to buy it back, and it's around $18. And the price shoots all the way up to $900. Like, could you imagine like short selling like a stock that was like $20, and then it goes up to $900, and you're like, I need some of that, please, so I can, because I owe it back to this other company. Because it's way, way above value. Like, if you had any interest in this company at all, you should sell the crap out of it, right? If you had been in on this a long time ago and had 1 million shares, you should sell them as fast as you can, because and that'll just drive the price down. But somebody wants 200 shares at $900, okay, 200 at 880, and it's just the price is just going to keep dropping and dropping because people aren't going to be willing to pay that much for it. But oh my goodness! So right now, because this is driven by the mechanisms are different though from what had happened before, because it wasn't an over sell of volume. It's a small volume. It just happened to be that the rest of the volume was accumulated in a few hands. Oh, we got a cop. So, no, he's a townie. No jurisdiction out here. Oh, there's another one. Another townie. Oh, that point. Yeesh. All right. The mechanisms are so different now, though. And I looked. The Volkswagen stock now is like $15 or something. Like it did not hold value out of this, and it took like 2 years later it dropped down to $5. So it absolutely was going the right way. It just people got caught trying to short sell it without enough available stock. So I think the first thing you do if you're going to be a short seller is look at how many other people are trying to do the same thing and how many shares are out there available, right? So there's some people got caught on the wrong end of this. But the people who have the stock that are driving it up, and I don't know what the mechanism that they're doing, because they're mostly like private people, so are these hedge fund people kind of waiting for it to come down, saying, well, like, I don't want to pay $300, I'll pay $250. But somebody else says, well, I'll pay $400 for it. So their shares go to them. Right? Now the guy said that just sold it for $350 is like, all right, well, hey, I'll buy some more back for $450. Is that the mechanism that's driving this, up in a way, sort of? Because if it is, man, are they dumping a lot of money in this just to, kind of catch people? I have questions about, like, how much of a volume do you have to trade and not, it's really, they're manipulating the market. They are. It's like, oh, no, we really believe in this stock. It's like, no, we really caught these short traders, and they're really, really stuck. So it's just, good for them, because the short seller, I don't trust anybody who makes money with money. Like, I have a real problem with it. And banks, it's not the same thing, because banks are lending money to people who are building something, and they're willing to pay back that money with interest. So it's an investment in, people or businesses or something like that. That structure's sound. The stock market, people trading to make money off of this, that, and the other, because it's this price, now it's at this price, and you just have enough money to where you can go out and buy pieces of this company, but you're not doing anything with the company. You're not investing in the company itself. You're just investing in the paper of the company. But these other people, they're not investing. They're investing in the company failing, and doing worse, which is, just horrible from a moral standpoint. Like, it's one thing to bet on a company doing better. It's another thing to say, well, this company's where value is going to drop because they're garbage. I'm going to buy some of your stock, or I'm going to borrow some and sell it, and then I'll buy it back when it bottoms out. That's and some people have figured this out, how to do it and be profitable at it. That's why they do it. But they missed here. Some other people are now, you're on notice now. Like, all these people are putting out these short notices. Hey, I'm going to short this stock. I'm shorting this stock. I'm doing this. And you think you're making money. Other people are looking at it going, I'm going to buy that up. And then when you try to get back into it, I'm not going to sell it for cheap. Like, that price is going to go up. You sold it for 20, you ain't get it back for less than 25. this organized organism now of lots of money, but it's all invested right now in GameStop. And it's not. I mean, there has to be a certain amount invested at $300 a share. People are going to lose money on both ends, right? The people who tried to short sell have lost up to 300. The people who are buying in at 300, trying to keep the short sellers out to drive the price up further, are going to lose if they don't sell at the top, because it's going to come back to whatever the value of the company is. It's inevitable. There's potential that the company could do well, but it's not going to do 15 times better than what the assets were worth to start with. The mechanism is different from the Volkswagen part, because Porsche could have sold off 1/40th of what they had in it and made their money back on the stock right then, and then just sat with those shares. So they made back their initial investment, but if they wanted to, they could sell back even more and just make the money on the stock on the stock sales. Crazy. But that's what all these hedge fund managers and stuff have done over the years, is just made money on betting on stocks to do certain things, or and that's good or bad. But it's the problem with the short sale is you lose if the price goes up, because it could go up and up forever. So the potential loss is, whenever you decide to buy back in, when you buy back in, you've lost that amount of money, whatever it went up to. And you have to pay a fee on top of it for borrowing the stock. If I'm one of these companies that had that stock where people borrow, it's like, hey, I'm going to need that back. And I'm selling it like right away, right? Like, so, the thing to me is, the short sellers are going to lose money, right? The people on Reddit that have paid all this money in, buying the stock at the higher and higher prices, they're going to lose their money, because the price is going to come back down. They still have the potential to make on it, especially if they had a lot initially. But I see, like, there's going to be very, very few people actually make money on that side of it. Because nobody's going to make money on the short selling side. But the firms that owned the stock originally are all going to make money, because they lent the stock out. They had the stock, they lent it out. Somebody's agreed to their terms, they don't have to buy it back. No, they don't have to buy it back. Like, somebody's got to give them their stock back, so they get it back. Then they can sell it at 100. All right, and somebody else had to buy it back at 80, even though they lost. They're getting it back. The brokerage firms are the ones that are going to make all the money on this small outstanding shares. So they're still in good shape. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's how it's going to happen or not, but there's going to be a couple people that made money early, that got in early and low and sold out already. And there's going to be a couple people that can make money on this when it comes back down, that already had the investment initially that people short sold for. Those are the ones that make money. The short sellers and the people playing this Reddit game are both going to lose. Maybe that's good, but it's not something that I don't think this cycle can repeat, because people are going to run out of money on the Reddit side, because it's a horrible investment. You're just doing it as a meme or a joke. Now, the wisest words I've ever heard about gambling have been, don't gamble with more than you're willing to lose. So I hope these people that are buying in are willing to lose whatever money they're spending. All right, that's all I got for today. Be careful, be COVID free, save that money, or spend it, I guess. Just don't do the short sales unless you're really, really into it. All right, later.